My father was in theater and film, so I kind of grew up in a theatrical environment. So I just sort of grew up with art around me, music, and my dad would take me to little children's theater. So performing just seemed like something you do, or writing. And at an early age, I was in school plays, and everybody thought I had something, you know. I saw you hidden in heather across blue slate skies. Being a New Yorker, I used to go to art gallery openings as a way of trying to meet guys. And there was always something in New York, highbrow, lowbrow, everything in between. And somebody we met said, oh, let's all go out to dinner. And he said, oh, I have a friend who would like you because you have etched features. I said, oh, who's that? He said, Roy Lichtenstein. I said, what, the pop artist? He said, yeah. I said, how old is he? He said, oh, he's 68. I said, well, for a free dinner, I'll go out with anybody. So we went out to dinner. It was quite an interesting experience, and I, influenced his art at the time with his nude series, and he sponsored my my first alternative dance record. He paid for it so I could master it with Ted Jensen, who's one of the best masters in the world, and he paid for it to be properly mixed. So he was and he came out to clubs to see me perform. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, that relationship, but where you to go when he's 71 and you're in your 20s. You are the brightest light I'll ever see in my life, for you are my silent star. I got ill from ME. It was creeping on over about a year and a half. I got more tired and my legs were weak and I felt fluey. And then I got signed to Warner Brothers because my Luna self and my Shameless thing was going well, but I was getting just really weird, and you don't know what's going on until finally you're so exhausted. It's like glandular fever or something, but that doesn't go away. And till I got diagnosed with ME. And then it sinks in that, you're this disabled person. You can't stand for more than a couple seconds. You have endless leg pain. You can't read. I couldn't read for 7 years. You're like brains in a fog. And you just want to sleep, and you feel like you have the flu. And it takes a tremendous determination to get better. And what I think ultimately you also need is purpose. Your illness can't be... I had epiphany that illness became my whole purpose in life, to cure myself, and I would never get better if all I was looking at was my illness. And so once I had purpose again with music, in my own way that I managed to do it, I got better. I ceased to be. I funded this record by selling 2 beautiful drawings Roy had given me. So art makes art, I suppose. Living in Swindon is a definite contrast to Manhattan, no doubt. But because I was so ill with ME, at the time that Andy came and Partridge came and sort of rescued me and landed in Swindon, at first I was so grateful for having sanctuary and not have to deal with my crazy family. And it gave me basically stability, which I had never had before. Andy Partridge is the executive producer because, one, he's my partner and he had no choice. And two, Andy has so much recording experience, I basically begged him to supervise. And he did. Certain things he would recommend and I'd say, oh, get out of my face, and other things I took on board. And he's played some instruments too, so I got a free musician. Well, I didn't write Unbecome because it was written by my partner and beloved Andy Partridge. It was a lovely song. He every evening he plays and strums the guitar to keep his, fingers moving. And it's just been sitting around the house for years. And I said, do you mind if I do that one? He said, sure, you can do it, I keep the publishing, he said. And, I had to figure out where to put it with my voice, how to sing it nicely. And he played the guitar. So I'm very grateful for his contribution there. So he pulls in a couple of XTC fans. Oh, what's to be done? I'm now a stumbler. Well,
and run. When you're not here, I unbecome. Wildflowers bend in the wind to their own blue skies within. Wildflowers aren't for the asking, no matter how their beauty woos you in.
Wildflowers was, I used to work with a guy named Bob Kinkle, now has done quite well with this band Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and he did the arrangement, and we've kept the arrangement. And the song is just a very lush, grand, flowery way of being infatuated with a bad boy or a creep, really. That's not to demystify it, wanting what you shouldn't really have, though it always looks really wonderful.
I surely could hold you in a moment's whim. Take care. Wildflowers bend in the wind to their own dark skies within. I close my eyes and call you near. Your voice, your touch, they appear. Your smile is everywhere.
My Silent Star, I guess in some ways, is indicative of a overall sort of coloring of all the themes within the record, which is, again, working through loss and then finding a way to make peace with loss in something that's, beyond the body, the material, something spiritual. And I guess that's the way I kind of look at things. Not every day, believe me. I like face creams. I'm very materialistic.
My silent star, guiding me, and you are the greatest gift.
What I want for this record, which is not very humble or modest, I come from a family, unfortunately, where the bar is high. It's big or bust. And I always was incredibly ambitious or driven until I got ME, and I'd like it to be very successful, but in a different way, where I'm not the template of what you're supposed to sell. I speak to the grown-up market, who I think is dying for having some adult audiences reflect their lives and celebrating maturity and wisdom and being alive now, because in the Middle Ages you'd be dead at 35, toothless with syphilitic sores on your toes. And there's a lot to be celebrated being grown up in this crazy culture of youth. Youth is great, but we all end up aging, and it's a time to celebrate. So I hope I sell a lot of records and I can parlay it into other things.
For you